Hello and welcome to the second video in the March Madness series. In the first video, I did a walkthrough of an app I made that anyone can use, deploy it to a Microsoft Teams channel to collect bracket data from people so that you can have a local competition. In this video, I'm actually going to provide a link to that solution in the description below and also walk through how to install it into a new team channel. It's a fairly basic app, so if you'd like to make improvements to it, it'd be great if you could share those back out and just do so on Twitter with a link and use this hashtag so I can find them later. Tomorrow I'll be putting out a video on with a link to a basic Power BI report that you can use to track progress. And again, I'm hoping that people may want to have some fun with it and make further improvements to it and share those out so that everybody can benefit. Everything so far is with the 2019 data because they haven't shared the 2021 bracket yet, and so my plan is to have a fourth video on Selection Sunday once the bracket's announced, and I'll provide, as I described in the last video, a table in PowerApps form that you can just copy and paste into the app that I'll show you how to install today, and you'll be ready to start collecting bracket data from folks. If you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, so now we'll head over to Teams and set up. We'll first create the team that we're going to use for the demo. Do that from scratch. Okay, so the team is created, and so now we'll go over to the Power Apps inside the Teams. And the first thing we need to do is just set up the infrastructure for Power Apps on that team. So we're going to say we're going to create an app, and the first thing we're going to do is create just an empty app just to set up that Power Apps infrastructure there. So we'll pick our team that we just created. And what I'll do is I'll pause the video. This takes about 30 seconds or so, and we'll pick up when it's done. Okay, that finished now. And so there's one more thing we need to do before we can import the zip file that hopefully you've downloaded. And that's just save this as a empty app. And then once we've done that, we can go back to the build screen. You can see I've had some other attempts playing around with this before, but if we go to that new one, oh sorry, I created that. Here we go. And the reason we did this test app here is so that we could actually see this see all hyperlink. It wasn't there before, so there needs to be at least one app there to be able to click on this. And so we created that dummy app just to be able to see that, so that then we could finally see the import button. Alright, so now that we have the import button, we actually don't need this app and could delete it. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and browse to the zip file. Click on that, open, hit next. And there's, because this contains a flow which sends an email to the person submitting a bracket, there's a connection to Outlook. And so the first thing that we'll get prompted for after we hit next there is to create that connection inside this new environment. And so it's going to go off and do that. Create this new connection. So we'll say yes, we want to create that. I'll choose my account that I'm already signed in under. Alright, and now that that's there inside this environment, and each team that has a Power App, there's an environment there that holds the apps and flows and connections. So now at this point I can go back over to the Teams environment, hit refresh, and it'll pick up that new connection, and then I can move forward and hit import. And this process can actually take a while, so what I'm going to do is stop the video here again and pick up what it looks like after the import is done. Okay, looks like everything's finally there. I left this running last night, and looking at when the app was actually created, it looks like it took 5 or 6 hours to complete. So this is definitely something to start the import going and walk away from it and come back and check periodically for when it's there. So you see all these, the components that were added here. I'll just go ahead and delete this test app that we had before. And you see that we have what's created is this. There's the app itself. There's the Dataverse For Teams table that was created to hold the data from your submitters. There's the Outlook connection to send the email. And you don't see the flow here. And so this is something I've seen as well. And so I'll show you the workaround how to get the flow reconnected. If we look under Cloud Flows, it's actually listed here to email the bracket, but it isn't associated with the app yet. So what we're going to do is open the app, and again, if someone knows why that happens, if they could post that in the comments. If there's a simpler way to do what I'm about to show, that'd be great, so people don't have to do this. First time you open it, it's going to again check to allow the connection for Outlook. Okay, so here's our app inside the Dataverse for Teams. And so what we're going to do is where the flow is used is on the final page, the summary page here. And if I expand the actions here, it's this here, this email bracket. And you can try the app and it may work, but I don't think it will. I think the email part won't work. So what I've found I need to do is I could go ahead and check on the actions for this flow, but since there's the other stuff there, you risk overwriting it once it does make the connection. So what I've been doing is just temporarily adding a new button just to get this working. And then hitting the ellipsis here, doing Power Automate. And then we'll just go ahead and adding that flow again here. And once we've done that, we can close this and actually delete this button. And what you'll notice if you go over to your data sources here, the original flow wasn't connected, and I think that's an artifact of the way it's importing into Dataverse for Teams. So you actually can remove that one, and it's made a new connection to that same flow that did come with the import, and you see it put an _1. So what you can do here is just come to this here and add the _1, and then it'll reference the now connected flow, and the email should work. Okay, and then we save that, publish to Teams, and then we're ready to share the app. Sorry, I have dark mode here, and we'll just post it to the general tab of this team. Okay, so now once that's done, you can actually go back to the build part of this, and if you just click at the team level here, this is where you can use the new feature, which is great, where you actually don't have to give access to the team, but you can just click on share with colleagues and pick a distribution list or whoever you want to share the app with, and they'll be able to start doing submissions. Okay, all right, so that's the walkthrough of how to import the app into your team. The navigation and then that step with the flow there is a little clunky, but hopefully that's enough to get you going. In the next video, I'll share the Power BI model that you can use to connect to your table, that brackets table in your Dataverse for Teams database, and then you'll be ready to go. And of course, if you want to make improvements to the app or the Power BI report, have at it. And then on Selection Sunday, I'll do a short video of how to take the string that I'll provide, which will generate the new table for the 2021 bracket, and then you can just update this app that you've just installed. Okay, thank you.